Good morning, gorgeous humans. Happy Monday. My goodness. Welcome to the morning show. I am your host, Marli Ansel, at Marli Ansel on the Instagrams. And this is the morning show where you come to get your daily dose of inspiration and level up into your highest being. It is all about real life, but we make it magical. And there is so much to talk about. So let's dive in. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy post Uranus Jupiter conjunction. We're going to talk about it. But today's topic is, are you making your life harder than it needs to be? Probably. Probably. And I'm going to share with you a 1 millimeter shift, another 1 millimeter shift that is going to completely shift your reality and take you into a level of ease. Praise the Jesus and the hallelujahs. But before we do, let's talk about all the things. Okay, so first and foremost, I took the whole weekend off of social media, not really intentionally. Honestly, I just didn't feel like it. Like, I know that that's not, when you run a business, that might not be always the best way to go. But I think it's really important to follow your gut feels. And in my feeling around it was like, this Jupiter Uranus conjunction is a big deal. And I think that there was a significant shift happening there. And I needed to just take a break and do me. But so much happened. So over the weekend, one, we're back to winter. Like, what the hell? I don't know what's going on. We're back to winter over here in the South. It is like going to be 38 degrees tonight. Like, no, thank you. Unsubscribe. I'm done with winter. Please and thank you. But it was nice over the weekend. And Robert has built me a whole new garden bed. And we're talking massive. This thing is like 3 feet by 7 feet. And I'm so excited about it. Basically, building my own homestead over here. Get ready, get prepared. Those of you who are on my Instagram for magical garden galore, because I'm so excited about what we're going to grow this year. I'm in my full garden goddess era and I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. So, Uranus Jupiter portal. New 14-year cycle has initiated. You're like, where? In what? Well, sometimes these shifts cause really massive things in our external world, but most of the time, the most profound shifts happen internally. Am I right? Like the number of times that someone has asked me, like, what's been going on? And I'm like, because so much has happened in my inner world, but I don't really have anything to communicate to them. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm an entirely new human, but I don't really know how to explain that to you, right? So some of the most profound shifts happen in the internal. And it makes sense because our external world is a projection of our internal world. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. But you may have felt an internal shift. This is what I'm getting at. You may have had something click for you that didn't click before. So, one of the articles that I was reading about this conjunction was that challenges that you have had previously will just seem to disappear with this conjunction. Things that had been difficult, that you've been like, couldn't find the solution, rolling it around in your head, all of a sudden work themselves out. Things of this nature. So, in reading that article, that was very top of mind for me. And I know my front of mind challenges that I seem to just loop in all of the time. And I noticed a very significant shift yesterday morning around my internal world on some of the stuff that I had been like overthinking for a while. All of a sudden it made sense. And I was like, oh, holy everything. Look at that. So we got to pay attention, is what I'm saying, because sometimes the shifts are subtle, but extremely profound. I think a lot of times we look for this big boom effect in our external physical reality, but it doesn't really work like that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes big stuff happens, but before the big stuff happens in the physical world, there's a big thing that happens in the internal world because everything is like on a time delay in the external world to match your internal world. So just think about over your weekend, yesterday in particular, because the conjunction was exact on Saturday night. What oh, and oh my god, what shifted for you? Was there something profound that happened internally that was like, "Oh my god, how did I never see that before? That makes so much sense," right? That kind of vibe. But also, Saturday night, Sunday morning, our whole family, sans Willa, because Willa's a little starseed child that marches to her own drum, me, Robert, and Violet all slept until almost 10 o'clock. Like, what? I mean, it was like some serious portal shifting energy. It felt almost like daylight savings. You know how it feels when you wake up after daylight savings? It felt that way. And when we woke up and we're like, whoa, like it's 10 o'clock. Oh my God. I told Robert, I was like, it's that portal sleep. Like traversing through the universe in our sleep into a new level. That kind of heaviness. Not heavy, heavy, but you know what I mean? Like profound shifting. So big stuff is happening. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to see how the external shifts with this internal shift that I've had. And that leads us to our topic today, which is what are you making your life harder than it needs to be? Yes, you are. You are. Let me answer it for you. Yes, you are. Okay. So this is a topic that I have talked about since 2019, but I haven't talked about it recently. And it's such a big deal. Like it's such a big deal. It's kind of the epitome of everything. And if we're not clear on it, we are unconsciously making our life harder than it needs to be. Like so much harder. Okay. So the concept and the way that I began teaching it was, are you putting a mountain between you and what you want? Now, I want you to think about this. You've got a goal. To have goals is to be human. Like you have goals whether they're conscious or not. If they're conscious, good. You know where you're going. But you probably have unconscious ones as well, which is just like, I just got to get through the day, right? Everybody has goals because we are forward future growth seeking individuals. It's just who we are, it's what we do, it's how we operate. That's the program. But are you putting a mountain of challenge between you and your goal? I want you to think about this. Imagine your goal. And then next, what are you saying has to happen before you can have that goal? Are you making a whole gamut of a to-do list that says, well, I have to this, and then I've got to radically change who I am because if I don't change who I am, then I can't have that because people like me don't have that. So I'm going to have to completely shift my entire being if I want to have that. And then on top of that, I've got to make sure that my husband gets on board with it. And do you see what I'm saying? Are you putting a whole slew of things in between you and what you want? Probably, probably. Get conscious about it. So, you see what I'm saying? Because you're probably doing it unconsciously. So get conscious about it. And then I want you to ask yourself this. What if none of that was true? What if there is quite literally nothing between you and what you want? What if you got this mountain and you can just flatten it? What if instead of what you want being like 20 years in the future, after all you've done this crazy list of things, what if instead of that, it's just around the corner? What if it's your next move? What if it's the next open door? What if all of this stuff that you're making up literally holds no truth except for the truth that you give it? Now, this is truly how it all works. Our subconscious mind only says yes. Okay, write it down. Our subconscious mind only says yes. When you say consciously, you're like, it's going to require a whole lot. This. It's going to take so much in order for me to have what I want. Your subconscious mind goes, okay, yes. And it will make it be true. So everything in our external reality, is filtered through our belief system, our thoughts, our feelings about who we are and what we believe life is. Everything. Everything is showing you who you believe you are and what you believe is possible for you in life. Everything. So when you have a filtering system, a belief that says it's going to require this massive amount of stuff, this very challenging trek in order for me to have what I want, then your subconscious says, Roger that, let's make it so. It only says yes. So let's work smarter, not harder. Amen. And the hallelujahs. Let's work smarter, not harder. What I want is the easiest thing in the world. It's just around the corner. Actually, it doesn't require anything else. It doesn't require, all it requires is me just being me, doing me, and following what I love and taking action in alignment with that. Oh my gosh, it could come so easily. Everything comes to me miraculously. It's amazing. I run into the right people, I have the right conversations, I make the right moves without even thinking about it, and it just happens. Everything I want is literally right there. Subconscious mind goes, yes, Roger that. Let's make it so. Do you see what I'm saying? Conditions, which is our mind's way of making up what we need to do in order to, okay? Conditions are completely made up by you. If conditions were, in fact, actually true, they would be true for every single human on this planet. But they're not. Do you see what I'm saying? So, everything in your physical reality is being filtered through your subconscious mind. And it is showing you the pathway of things work out so easily, everything is in my favor, I literally can't get it wrong. Or it's showing you the pathway of it's going to be a treacherous, really hard hike. I've got to get up there and I've got to have to work hard and I've got to make sure and it's going to be really difficult. Subconscious mind can show you either one, but it's up to you which one. So you got to check yourself. Are you putting a mountain in between you and what you want? Are you making it a nice little jaunt around the corner? It's entirely up to you. Check yourself because it's all created in the mind first. The universe is mental. Universe is responding to us always. So if my subconscious mind says yes to no matter what I choose to believe, then couldn't I start to shift my belief system to where it works in my favor? This is that work smarter, not harder stuff. This is for those of you who are in the Becoming a Conscious Creator program. This is 101. This is module 1 that we dive into. How do I work smarter, not harder by leveraging this mechanism of the subconscious mind to work in my favor, bringing me what I want easily, effortlessly? Or am I making it really difficult? Am I making it hard? Am I making it impossible? Now, there's a few reasons that you would do this. There's a few reasons that you would make life hard. One, if you're afraid, if you're afraid of the change. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if you're afraid what will happen when you have what you want, you will unconsciously make it almost impossible to achieve. Do you see what I'm saying? So then you put yourself in that level of life where you're always going after it, but you're never getting anywhere. Always going after it, but you're never getting anywhere. Because in your mind, you've got a fear around what will happen if I have that. Could look something like, well, I'm afraid that someone will be mad. I'm afraid that someone's going to get hurt. I'm afraid that people are going to think this about me if I am that. Do you see what I'm saying? So you could unconsciously be making your life more difficult simply because you want to keep yourself at the level of trying rather than the level of having because you're afraid of what will happen at having. If that is the case, then you've got to bust up that belief system that what you want is going to hurt somebody. You can't operate like that. You know what I mean? We're making it all up anyway. So if you feel like you achieving your highest success So, an example, it might be something along the lines of like, if I'm super successful and I have everything that I want, my family or my friend group is going to think that I'm full of myself. They're going to think I'm too good. They're not going to want to hang out with me. They're going to be like, oh, she's this now. You see what I'm saying? It's as simple as that, truly. And we will unconsciously block, we will unconsciously keep it away from us until we start getting clear about it. So you want to get up in that belief system because if you don't, it's unconsciously running your life and you're making your life difficult for no reason, no reason at all. So we want to get like super clear about this because these are those little 1 millimeter shifts that will put you in an entirely different reality. Think about it, like the reality of trying to get what you want, to go after your goal, and the reality of having your goal are two totally different realities, aren't they? They're totally separate. They're two different worlds, and it's up to you which one you're going to live in. Now, you have all the power, you have all the tools that you need to create what it is that you actually want to be experiencing. You just maybe haven't been doing it to the full capacity that you could be doing it. You have the power, like you have everything that you need to create what you want, but you've got to learn to utilize it. You've got to learn to access it in a way that you've been maybe unconscious about. That's the best word. That you've been like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that I have this ability to do this." This is why, like, I think we know things as humans. I think we know things. I think we can intuitively feel what's true, but we don't always have the information in our mind to match what we feel is true. Does that make sense? So the more education you can get around how this reality works, around how your subconscious mind works, around how reality is created from your mind, the more information that you can gather to put that puzzle together, the more you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I get it. I understand how this reality works. So it's like sometimes we feel things, but we don't quite understand it. And so the more that you can educate yourself around this kind of stuff, how this game of life works and how to leverage the rules in your favor, the more it's going to make sense to you. The more you're going to be like, oh, this piece of information clicked with this feeling that you've been having but didn't have the words for. Now it makes sense. Do you see what I'm saying? So, if you're making your life difficult by creating all of these things in between you and what you want, I want you to practice just asking yourself, can you literally, like, what if that wasn't even true? What if I'm entirely making up everything that's required for that to happen? What if I'm already there? Good morning. Hi, Amber. What if I already have everything in place? What if I'm just making up all of this stuff, making it impossible, like near impossible to have what I want because I'm afraid of what I want? Does this make sense? So practice this. And if you want help and you want the education to learn the tools, come into the Becoming a Conscious Creator program because I give it to you broken down in a way that is so simplistic and it will blow your mind that you are just now learning this. It will be like, oh my goodness, I wish I would have learned this 10 years ago. Because as you get it, you realize how much power you have in your own reality, in your own world. We have been trained our entire lives to believe that there's some outside force dictating us and the life that we can have. It's not true. It's not true. But you can make it feel true because of your belief system. Yeah, that's how powerful we are. We've had the power all along, but you got to get educated on it and you got to learn how to use it. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to use it over you, you know? Let's see. Amber said, and if you have to ask the question, the answer is already yes. Yeah, you are. Yeah, right. Am I making my life hard? Oh, if I have to ask myself that, I probably know the answer. We all do it. Like, listen, we're human. We are human. We all do it because we are literally swimming in our belief system. Like a fish does not know it's in water, right? It's just life. So we're swimming in our belief system all the time. And it's not until, and this will get you, it's not until we want life to change so much that we then start looking at, why is my life this way? Why is this happening? Why does this keep repeating? Why am I stuck in this loop? It's when we start asking that why question that we end up going on this deep dive journey into our own internal thought system, into our beliefs. I remember when I first started awakening to this, it was in 2017. And I was like, I didn't know where to go in the external world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was in a job that was all right, but like I couldn't see a way out. And I felt like I had maxed the norm core road. You know what I mean? Like school, degree, corporate job. I was getting paid almost six figures and deeply unfulfilled. And I was like, well, shit, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? And I didn't have anywhere else to go in the external. Like, I don't know, the road ended. Is a dead end. This storyline that society sold me is now a dead end. What do I do? And it led me to turn inward. It led me to start looking at why I believe some of the things that I believe. What are some of the rules I've been making up about life that have kept me boxed in? What is it that I've been doing myself that's been holding me back and I didn't even realize I was doing it? I started assessing all of those things that are happening inside the mind. Wait, why do I think it has to be that way? Wait, why am I saying this is that and it can only be like this? Why am I saying I have to follow anything? Started going inward. You start going inward. Get ready for your reality to explode into an entirely different experience because this is where the program manual is. The program manual is not in the external, the program manual is in the internal. So when you get into the program and you start rearranging some stuff, changing your belief system, changing your thoughts about reality, changing your thoughts about yourself, the entire projection of your reality is going to start shapeshifting. That's the key. That's the formula. Like, that's the secret. That's how we access it. And we're not taught it. We're not taught it anywhere. But as soon as you start to really do this and you get curious about it, and if you're anything like me, you get like obsessively curious because it feels like magic. It feels like magic. You know what I mean? It feels like some ethereal thing, but in truth, it's a lot more like a computer system that's running a program. You are a computer system that's running a program. When you reprogram the computer system, it's going to run a different program. And then you're going to have a different experience in life. But we've got to get real clear about it. And if you want the instruction manual of how to do it, come into Becoming a Conscious Creator. It's 50% off right now. It's the best time you could ever join this thing. You will have it for life and you will use this over and over and over again because the game never ends. Amen. Like, the game never ends. We're always evolving. We're always going to a new level of life. And I want to say this, it's meant to be fun. So if you're in a world of challenge right now where you're questioning, like, what is happening? How do I get out of this? Why is this happening? I want to create something else. I want to have, be, experience, and do more, especially if you're a good person. Oh my God. Like, we need more good hearted people in their power. You feel me on that? We need more people who want to do good in this world, having this information, knowing how to do this so that we can create something better. Like, the ego has run the world thus far. We've seen it, right? People at each other's throats, people battling for power, people trying to keep other people suppressed. We've seen that. Can we be done with it? Can we, as good people, start taking our power back and really, truly learning and understanding how this works so that we can be the ones that are leading the way? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anywho, so Becoming a Conscious Creator is 50% off right now. Message me directly, the word creator, and I'll send you 50% off. That's it. 50% off the program. You will have it for life. Your mind will be absolutely blown with how this stuff works. and you will be so excited to implement it right away. Completely change your life. It did mine. It did. That's why I put it in a program because it changed my life. Okay, so you're the one deciding it all, and we have to get that power in us. Like you already have that power. You got to own that power. You see what I'm saying? One of the things, I'm gonna give you this, and then we'll wrap. I'm a chatty Cathy this morning. One of the things my guides said to me, because one of like my main focuses has been around owning my power, like owning my power as a human, right? And one of my guides, whoever, higher guidance, higher self, I heard very clearly, you don't need to try and force owning it. You just need to allow it. And that was like, oh, you just need to allow it. I mean, we're done. We're done. All right, my loves. I love you so much. If you haven't already, hit the likes and the subscribes, and please share the show with someone that you think it would create an impact for. It helps us to grow the show and get our message out there and create our impact in the world. It's Monday. Let's have an amazing week. Let's eliminate all of our conditions that are making our life hard. Like, let's just do it so that we can make moves and get into that level of life and level of reality and level of self where we are in our power. And if you want to come into becoming a conscious creator, message me the word creator and I will send you 50% off. And that's a wrap. I love you so much. We'll see you here tomorrow, Tuesday, for another episode of the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern Time live. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, my love.